It wasn't the barbarians at the gates. It wasn't even the wars that finished them off. The real reason empires crumble is something far more hidden, and it's lurking inside every one of them. Imagine an unstoppable machine. Every new conquest fuels grand monuments, lavish courts, and mighty armies. But what if each victory secretly sowed the seeds of its own defeat? Today, we'll peel back the veil on the one hidden force that toppled Rome, the Maya, the Ottomans, and might be ticking away beneath our own society right now. By the end, you'll see why no superpower is ever truly safe. An empire is more than land, soldiers, or gold. It's a complex organism, a web of taxes, officials, infrastructure, and culture binding millions. At its height, Rome spanned 3 continents and governed over 60 million souls. The Maya erected temples that clawed at the sky. The Ottomans commanded trade routes from Venice to Cairo. For centuries, these machines ran on the promise of ever greater rewards. But here's the twist. Every gear you add, each new road, each bigger army, each deeper bureaucracy, demands more fuel than the last. The return shrinks, even as the cost soars. In Rome's golden age, conquering new territories filled coffers and kept legions loyal. Yet by the 3rd century CE, defending endless frontiers drained the treasury faster than taxes could flow in. Resources dried up. Borders buckled. Quick quiz for you. Which empire managed complexity best? Rome, the Ottomans, or the British? Type your guess in the comments now. I'll reveal the true winner in just a moment. Now, look at the Maya. Their cities rose in perfect harmony with the heavens, but feeding an expanding priesthood, army, and artisan class required ever more farmland. Drought struck, yields collapsed, government edicts piled up, corrupt officials skimmed tribute, and the whole system jammed until it simply stopped. No invasion force, just a machine that ran out of juice. And what about the Ottomans? At their peak, they united dozens of ethnicities under a single sultan. But with every new province came additional courts, armies, and bureaucracies. By the 17th century, the cost of maintaining Istanbul's splendor and far-flung garrisons outstripped their revenues. Attempts to raise taxes sparked revolts. Fissures spread through the empire like cracks in ancient marble. Here's a mid-video thought experiment. If you ran a modern corporation or a nation, how would you know your system was heading toward complexity overload? Drop a one-word answer below: taxes, bureaus, or overhead, and I'll address it later. The heart of this collapse is a simple curve. As complexity, C, goes up, the returns, R, you get go down, eventually tipping negative. Build 1 aqueduct and you get massive benefit. Build 10, and each new one adds only a fraction of the last and costs more to plan, build, and guard. Over time, you exhaust your capital, financial, human, even social. Corruption is the silent partner in this decline. Each administrative layer is an opportunity for graft. Governors skim taxes, judges accept bribes, edicts take months to implement, unity fractures into competing fiefdoms. The empire dissolves from within long before any external enemy delivers the final blow. Does any of this sound familiar? Today's multinational corporations and governments face the same trap: sprawling hierarchies, ballooning budgets, and endless meetings that produce little. Supply chains snap under strain, innovation stalls. Crisis management becomes the permanent default. Let's deepen our dive with a third case: the British Raj. Controlling nearly a fifth of the world's population required a web of civil servants in Calcutta, Delhi, and London. Revenue flowed from Indian agriculture to British coffers, but not without a cost. Famines erupted when policies prioritized cash crops over food. Nationalist movements exploited administrative blunders. By the mid-20th century, the burden of governance had become intolerable, and the empire unraveled. Now for the reveal. It wasn't barbarians, mismanagement, or fate. Every empire fell because Complexity demanded more resources than the system could sustain. When the cost of keeping the machine running exceeds the benefits it generates, collapse is inevitable. So what can we learn to prevent our modern societies or organizations from following the same path? First, simplify ruthlessly. Audit every department, program, or project. If it no longer delivers clear benefit, sunset it. Automate repetitive tasks. Delegate decisions to local teams. Cut the dead wood. Second, invest in resilience. Diversify revenue streams. Build redundancy into supply chains, and empower adaptive leadership. A lean core with flexible peripheries weathers shocks far better than a monolithic giant. Third, monitor the return curve. Track real-world metrics, cost versus impact, complexity versus agility. If a new initiative adds less value than it costs, halt it before it siphons away critical resources. But here's the cliffhanger. Some empires discovered how to adapt complexity without collapsing. They evolved new governance models, embraced decentralization, and harnessed fresh technologies. To recap, empires fall not because of outside enemies, but because internal complexity becomes their undoing. Thanks for watching.